Listening, learning, and acting against sexual violence. Today, on the International Day for the Elimination of Sexual Violence in Conflict, eBase Africa stands with survivors of sexual violence in Cameroon and around the world. We honor their resilience, recognize their dignity, and reaffirm our commitment to evidence-informed action that supports prevention, protection, accountability, and healing. Recent reports point to a deeply troubling rise in cases of sexual violence affecting women and children in Cameroon. Government statistics reported in June 2026 indicate that femicide cases increased from 50 in 2023 to 67 in 2024 and 77 in 2025, with available figures for 2026 suggesting that the trend has not slowed. The Cameroon Bar Association has also sounded an alarm over what it described as a disturbing resurgence of sexual offenses, targeting minors in several parts of the country, including Yaoundé, Douala, Bagante, and the Northwest region. These concerns point to the urgent need to strengthen prevention, survivor protection, access to justice, and accountability. During March and April 2026 alone, reports documented numerous cases of sexual violence against children, with many cases recorded in the Northwest, Southwest, and Central regions. These incidents are linked to several factors including poverty, harmful patriarchal norms, displacement, and the ongoing Anglophone and conflict. Evidence also suggests that nearly 90% of reported cases involving children originate from familiar environments, including family settings, schools, and communities. These are places where children should be protected, supported, and safe. In the Anglophone regions, reports on conflict related sexual violence have documented patterns of rape, forced marriage, adoption, and assault associated with the ongoing armed conflict. Women, girls, and entire communities continue to live with the consequences of this violence. Behind every statistics is a person, a child, a woman, a family, a community. Many survivors remain silent because of fear, stigma, social pressure, or limited access to safe and trusted supported services. For this reason, ending sexual violence requires more than awareness. It requires systems that listen, protect, respond, and hold perpetrators accountable. Over the years, eBase Africa has worked with communities across Cameroon to better understand the realities of sexual and gender-based violence and the barriers that prevent survivors from seeking support and justice. Through formative research supported by the French Embassy's PISCA program, eBase Africa examined patterns of sexual and gender-based violence across the Northwest, Southwest, East, and North regions of Cameroon. This work reinforced a clear lesson. Effective responses must be grounded in local realities and shaped by the voices of those most affected. Building on this evidence, the Thanka project, supported by Grand Challenges Canada, explored the use of Toride and indigenous storytelling approach to facilitate community dialogue on sexual and gender-based violence. The experience showed the value of creating safe spaces where communities can reflect, challenge harmful norms, and identify pathways for change. Today, eBase Africa calls for sustained action. We call for stronger survival centered services, including healthcare, psychological support, legal assistance, and protection mechanisms. We call for greater investment in community led and evidence informed approaches that prevent violence before it occurs. We call for safer homes, safer schools, and safer communities. We call for justice systems that protect survivors and ensure accountability. And above all, we call for survivor voices to remain at center of policies, programs, and research. On this International Day, we are reminded that eliminating sexual violence in conflict requires listening, learning, and acting with urgency and care. eBase Africa remains committed to generating evidence, amplifying community voices, and supporting locally grounded solutions that contribute to safer, more inclusive, and more resilient communities for women, children, and all those affected by violence. Thank you and happy International Day of for the elimination of sexual violence in conflict.